Good morning. This is live stream number 86, the Frenchican. 86, we're going to 86, 2020, we're going to 86, all things negative, and turn a new leaf, new page, welcoming in 2021.
No matter where I go, I always end up in the same place. No matter who I try to be, it's still me behind this face. And my past shoots right behind me in my rear view mirror. And I aim my future right along the line. And I know that I'm really getting nowhere fast as I cross that old Snake River one more time. There's an infinite highway rolling under my wheels, windshield wipers tired from the long hard rain. And I swear that I was here just a little while ago, 'cause there's that old Snake River once again. At 69 miles an hour, I grip the steering wheel. Everything seems like it's moving except my automobile. Like a cartoon background, it keeps spinning on by. And I see the same old scenes repeated from the corner of my eye. And if I wasn't running low on gas, I wouldn't be at all surprised, 'cause there's that old Snake River one more time. And there's an infinite highway rolling under my wheels, windshield wipers tired from the long hard rain. And I swear that I was here just a little while ago, 'cause there's that old Snake River once again. No matter where I go, I always end up in the same place. No matter who I try to be, it's still me behind this face.
A story about one of our favorite people,
Yes, we did a Zoom with
the Frenchican.
the Frenchican, Gilles. So we want to tell them a little about Gilles
We met Gilles in Mexico City. He was the assistant to the producer of, and I know this will be a really big surprise to everyone, but it is the oldest blues festival, and of all places in Mexico City.
Yeah.
It's 1 year older than the
Chicago Blues Festival.
And Gilles was the assistant to the producer, Raul de la Rosa.
All the way up until we met him a few years ago.
Yes, and we've become
And
really good
we
friends.
became especially friends because I showed up. I didn't know it was 8,000 feet. I need oxygen for altitude, and there wasn't any there. I got really sick. They had to rush me to the hospital. And Gilles is the guy that took care of us. So we really bonded.
Yes.
And he lives in Chicago lots of the time, or in Mexico, or in France. And we're going to introduce you to Gilles. And enjoy. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
How are you, Corky?
Really good. So this is what we're doing. Okay. So what we want to do is start introducing our friends who are personalities
Okay.
to our fans. And you could.
Here I am. I am Gilles, also known as the Frenchican, nickname I got in Chicago, because I am French and I am Mexican, and I also live sometimes in Chicago. So I was born in France, in the Côte du Rhône region, next to the Rhône River, and so I grew up on decent wine and baklava because I have an Armenian mother too. So then I moved to Mexico when I was a young lad in my early 20s. And after a 3-year stint in Paris, which I strongly not recommend to anybody, living in Paris is really hell. Contrary to the common impression that it's the best city in the world, it's definitely not, unless you make a lot of money and you live under some elite conditions. So then I moved to Mexico City, and it was a fun decision and a fun ride. I was fortunate enough to meet a guy called Juan Lopez Moctezuma. And somehow he offered me a job as a radio producer for him, which I accept immediately. And after I accepted the job, I asked him, "What's a producer?" And solidify.
Who are those guys? Who are those guys that I played with?
So you played with the Son de Madera. Those guys play the Veracruz called Sotavento. So that's the southern part, or the part close to the Gulf, to Tlacotlalpan. Son de Madera, Ramon y Teres. So you jam with them, and they are some of the top guys for that particular music, which is traditional. And then, of course, it's traditional, but it's also happening now. So it's not old music; it's traditional and contemporary somehow. It's a lie, like the blues. It's a lie.
I could actually play. Because remember, we took some shots of that in the tent that was in Mexico City at the festival.
Yes.
Chamber Blues. But Hayan and I were back there, and I think you were there, and we were jamming with these guys just for a couple minutes. I'll actually show that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great encounter of you guys, and Kayan. I just listened to them on our way to the backstage, because they were performing in a different stage before you perform. So that was also very interesting, because he was already into it, and then you guys met. And an answer musician to the question, "What do you do?" Well, pring.
Oh, right.
No.
Yeah.
So that was a very nice encounter of you guys. Really beautiful, and a click, and also it works, because it works. It's somehow that mix of European theory with the African and indigenous encounter. In the Americas, it's related. So from the blues to Veracruz, there is definitely a connection in many ways, spiritual and also.
And it rhymes.
Technically. Yeah, and it rhymes. Yes.
From the blues to Veracruz.
And it rhymes. So what else can man can ask for?
Yeah.
So then. Those adventures at some point took me to a strong interest in the blues, and I started traveling to Chicago, and I was also assisting Raúl de la Rosa, which the of the Mexico City Blues. He started that festival in '78, I think, so a year before the first Chicago Blues Fest, actually. And at that time, he had all the big players at the time, the old guys, Willie Dixon, Albert King, Walter Horton. I mean,
Howlin' Wolf,
there is yeah,
Howlin' Wolf and Muddy Waters.
Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters. There is a story that Big Joe Williams traveled for the festival and got sick, and they flew him back. He didn't got to play in Mexico City, and they flew him back, and then he passed when he came back.
He
So
passed
basically,
away.
that would have been his last gig.
Well, remember when I got sick?
Yes, so here
That's
I go.
sort of how we bonded.
Luckily, that was not your last gig.
You should tell our people what happened.
Yeah, so you came to play that festival a
With
few
Seagull
years later.
Squall.
That might have been what, 2006 probably.
Yeah.
And you got sick of altitude sickness, so we had to take you to the hospital and give you oxygen and get you back on your feet. After a few years, we know that you were fast getting back on his feet type of guy. At that moment, we were very concerned, but in regard of everything that has happened in between, basically, you're probably one of the toughest guy on the scene. Though people misunderstood what tough means.
And then
But,
you got a cape for Sam Lay.
Also, yeah, I took Sam to La Ciudadela. He was looking for a cape for that night for the gig, and we bought a mariachi cape for him. And I think Holly told me that cape now is in a display in the Memphis Blues Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the Memphis Blues Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll interpret for everyone. The Memphis Blues Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but you cannot say crème brûlée.
Crème brûlée. Je ne parle pas français.
So yeah, that's some nice nice ways to meet, and nice way to get into the music, the people, and each other. I mean, as a matter of fact, Corky, you're my surrogate dad, because we're not gonna get into details here, but Corky is the only person beside my dad that sat me in the coach and scold me about some of my behavior. And I took the scold and I was happy to take it.
I have that have their favorite restaurant, each one of them. And all three of the people with the moderator go to these restaurants and like criticize or compliment the restaurant and, that kind of thing. Anyway, Gilles was the hit of the program, and they ended up using parts of his presentation for, and I think they wanted him to be the moderator for the show. And then they wanted him to be the president of public television.
Yes.
And then they wanted him to run for office.
$2 million I needed yearly.
What?
They didn't have they couldn't match the pay grade that was that I deserve, which was a couple of $1 million a year, and they could not reach that. So that was the end of my career.
Do we have a link that we could send people to so they could see that?
Sure, I can find that and send it to you. Yeah, I was the guest for Shokran, the Moroccan restaurant. Our friend, great. Let's do the little sponsor capsule, but yeah, Shokran is great, and a unique Moroccan place in Chicago. And I must admit that I truly consider it probably the best Moroccan restaurant I've ever been in my life, and I've been to a few.
Yes. Khalid is the owner. He's a very
Yeah.
good friend of
Yeah.
all of ours. And Gilles, you introduced us to the restaurant.
Yeah.
But you should tell, just because this is such a delightful story. I know but you should tell how Gilles has had many, many wives. And his last wife, unless you're married again, I don't know.
No, I'm not married again.
Okay. You should tell the story about your car.
And so only the passenger door had a working lock, and then from the passenger door you could electrically unlock the rest of the car. So the tour is done. I'm driving back to Chicago, and my wife was home, and I told her, let me show you my new ride, and let me take you out for a drink in the new ride. So I went to the passenger side and unlocked it with the key, so I can unlock it electrically so I can get into the driver's seat. And when I opened the passenger side, she said, to the untrained eye, you look like a gentleman. Regina has a few of those, like, really on point. She also told me once that I did not look younger, but I look good for my age. And as a matter of fact, that's probably the best compliment, the real compliment I ever had. I just got my US visa at the time, my first US visa. So I was, for the first time, I was traveling. Hello, Holly.
Hi, Gilles. If I didn't know better, you look like a gentleman.
Well, that was
That was the
Gilles.
Frenchican. That was Gilles from Mexico City, by the way. He was in Mexico City. And
The Zoom was from Mexico City.
correct. And so we're going to do a Zoom, and we hope you will join us.
We just did a Zoom.
Well, after.
Didn't we just do a Zoom with the Frenchican? With Gilles.
Oh, we're not going to do one. No.
Oh, you mean after? When we're saying goodbye now, and then we're going to do a Zoom.
Hello.
Oh.
Earth to Corky.
Right, 2 Zooms in a row. That's what confused me. So go to
/stream.
and the links will be there for the Zoom.
And have a great weekend.
Or just go to quirkymusic.com and go to the music menu, and it'll be on that page. It's so simple.
Okay. Have
So
a nice
look,
weekend.
it looks like we're ending a little bit early. We're
It's fine because it's
24
the weekend.
minutes. 24 minutes.
Have a great weekend.
So maybe we'll get to start the Zoom a little early.
All right. See you then.
Okay, bye-bye.